A very pleasant good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again to the People's Forum of In the Streets with Big Stone. Today, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to talk to you about who would make the best commissioner. Now, we have three people vying for one job. We're talking about former police superintendent Renato Adams. We're talking about DCP Blake, who's actually acting as the commissioner of police. And we're talking about my favorite, DCP Stephen Mcgregor. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have these three stalwarts, a former police officer and two police officers that is acting. Now, the cry is out there. Everyone practically is saying, give us back Renato Adams. Adam is the man for the job. A few people are clamoring also saying that DCP Blake seemed like a fair young man who is sturdy and he's best suited for the job. But my favorite, ladies and gentlemen, is DCP Stephen Mcgregor. Now I'm going to tell you why I say DCP Stephen Mcgregor. But before I go into Stephen Mcgregor, let's take a little background check on Renato Adams. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Renato Adams at one time headed the CMU, and he did a remarkable job. But a few cases were questionable in terms of the Brayton 7 and the Crawl situation. Now, to be honest, Renato Adams has not been convicted or charged with any wrongdoing. His record is clean. But we know Jamaica for justice and the wider world, whether it be political or not, do not want Renato Adams to be commissioner of police. Now, he would be a great commissioner, don't get me wrong. He's very brave, very honest in his outbringing in terms of his integrity, in terms of bribe, trying to weed the police department from corrupted police officers, as he has demonstrated many times in his interviews. And I remember back a few years ago when they had the big massive shootout in Tivoli Gardens where 27 people were shot and killed. Renato Adams was on television and he said, in his own words, and I quote, Jamaica is gonna pay dearly for this. And his word came to pass, ladies and gentlemen. We saw 1,618 people killed last year. And we're up to practically 200 people or more killed for this year. But we know they're not going to give Adams. For some reason, I just don't think they want Adams to be the next commissioner or at any time, because this is like his third application for the job. I think he would make a great commissioner, but they're not going to give him. So I'm not going to waste my card on wishful thinking. But Stephen Mcgregor, DCP Stephen Mcgregor, is the kind of police officer, and I've noticed him quite a few times in the areas that he commands, he gets the ultimate respect, because I see him as a fair-minded, sharp, very alert police officer that respect the community. And once you respect the community of which you serve, because you're there to protect and serve the people of any community, then of course you're going to have the overwhelming support of the community. He was in Tivoli Gardens and he did a remarkable job. I don't know why they took him from Western Kingston, but they transferred him to Montego Bay. And again, he did an impeccable job. So my choice for Commissioner of Police would definitely have to go with DCP Stephen Mcgregor. I see him as a no-nonsense cop. I see him as fair. I see him as a people person. He comes up with a lot of great ideas. I see him as very creative. He even mentioned the fact that there should be a curfew time for youngsters. If you're underage, you shouldn't be seen on the streets if you have no real purpose to be on the streets. And that will kind of change their mindset from wanting to be a part of any gangs or so on. Restrict the movement, put that impetus on the parents. And he also has curfew monitors, people that are trained to deal with situations like those. I remember there was a situation where there were some wanted men, and how he addressed the situation was perfect. He said, listen, I know who you are, and I know what you have done because I have intelligence on what you have done. Report to me. Don't have us come looking for you. Report to me. And when he made those statements, you could see the firmness in the tone of his voice. You could see that this was a no-nonsense police officer that is not just going to take some youngster off the street and throw them behind bars for no good reason. You can see this is also an officer that wants to implement a community that love, stay, work, and love together. He says, if you can produce me less crime in the community, instead of a lock-off time for your session, I'm going to give you an extension. He'll do anything to work with the community as long as the community wants to work with him. So ladies and gentlemen, my choice for Commissioner of Police is not Renato Adams, because I know they're not going to give it to him. Is he the right man for the job? He's a great human being. He would make a great police officer, a great commissioner, but for some reason they're not going to give it to him. I know there's a lot of petition going on and going on and going on and so forth and so on, but they, for some reason, they're not going to give Renato Adams. So my next best bet would be Mr. Stephen TCP Mcgregor. So Mr. Mcgregor, if you're out there, you're one of the cops that I see as a hard worker, a no-nonsense police officer, a police officer with integrity, a police officer that respects the people that he serves, a police officer that is fair and fearless, a police officer that would bring Jamaica back together again. So the Police Service Commission, I know you're the one responsible. Give him a chance as a young, firm police officer, one that has been in these areas and understand the people and know how to deal with people, because it takes a police officer of the integrity, Stephen Mcgregor, who can really rally around the people and bring the people together. So my vote goes for Mr. Stephen Mcgregor. There you have my point and the commissioners, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for watching, and be safe out there. Thank you.